Okay, so we're going to start here. The coronary arteries are right over the heart. Pulmonary trunk artery, on this one's a little deceiving because it's dyed blue, but the pulmonary trunk artery is going to come right outside, right here like this. Mm-hmm. It's leaving the right the right atrium ventricle. And then we also have pulmonary veins. I'm going to just do the veins as well here. That's like right here. They're going to be connected to the veins, pulmonary veins. Then we have the ascending aorta up here. Mm-hmm. Branching off the ascending aorta, we have the brachiocephalic artery, mm-hmm. Which branches to the right subclavian. And then also it branches into the right and left common carotid arteries. Okay. Then the left subclavian. Both subclavians branch into the axillary, which branch into the brachial arteries. And then kind of hard to...
Can you point the brachial again?
Brachial artery is going to go into the arm. Kind of can't see it right here, but there would be an artery right through the arm. Mm-hmm. And then the subscapular arteries are going to branch off of either the axillary or the subclavian. So like it could be off of, if you want to move over to the left side, it could be off of the subclavian or the axillary, but it's going to be a branch that kind of dips down. We don't see them here, but it'll dip down into the body, down towards the scapula. And it's going to be joined by the subscapular vein as well. Brachiocephalic vein is going to be right here.
Where?
Brachiocephalic vein right here, this big one right next to the brachiocephalic artery.
Okay.
Then there's the right and left brachiocephalic veins. This is the subclavian vein, axillary vein, axillary vein. Gonna go extend into the brachial vein. You can't see it.
Okay. And
then the subscapular vein again will accompany the subscapular artery. Okay. And then also external and internal jugulars may not be visible, he says. I think they've cut them. They're going to go right up the side of the neck right here. So these are going to be external and internal jugular veins. External and internal jugular veins. All right, and then just over here we have I told you this is the brachiocephalic. This is the superior vena cava. Superior vena cava, and that breaks into the right and left brachiocephalic veins. Superior vena cava. Off of the superior vena cava, if you want to go underneath here, see this?
That's a what called?
Azygous vein.
Well, the big one.
Yeah, azygous, azygous vein. All right, and then coming up here, we have the inferior vena cava, and we're gonna pull all this up. Go down here, inferior vena cava continuation, and then this is the descending aorta. So I'm gonna start with the arteries here. We have the celiac trunk arteries.
That one? I don't know.
Is it okay if I record too?
Yeah. Celiac trunk artery. Yeah, this is the celiac trunk artery. This is the superior mesenteric attached to the small intestines. This is the renal artery. Inferior mesenteric artery. And then along with that, we have the renal vein.
There's a renal vein.
Renal vein right here.
Goes straight into the kidney.
Yep. Okay, and that's that. And then we're gonna move down into
the uterine tube or something?
What's that?
What are you holding right there?
What's that? Oh, that's the yeah, this is the urethra that we're holding right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So go down here. We're gonna follow the descending aorta down, and it's gonna branch the descending aorta, and it's gonna branch to the external iliac artery. Is going to be outside, and then the smaller internal iliac artery is on the inside. The corresponding veins, the vein is going to go right. The inferior vena cava is going to, you can't see it here. It's not cleared out enough, but the inferior vena cava is going to extend into the common iliac vein, which then breaks to the external iliac vein and internal iliac veins. So then down here, the external iliac vein extends down into the femoral artery. This is the femoral artery and the femoral vein right next to it.
Okay.
This branch off of the femoral artery is the, it's called the proximal caudal femoral artery.
Okay.
Proximal caudofemoral artery. And then there's also a proximal caudal femoral vein right next to it. And then this isn't dissected well enough, but this is the femoral vein, and it's going to extend down the. It's going to become the popliteal vein down here.
Behind the knee.
And when it becomes a popliteal vein, the saphenous, S-A-P-H-E-O-U-S, saphenous vein is going to branch off of the femoral artery at the point where the femoral becomes the popliteal.
Okay.
And then finally, let's just look over at the hepatic portal vein system. So down here from the large intestine is this is the inferior mesenteric vein coming from the large intestine. Comes up here. This is kind of a smaller vein, but this is going to be the superior mesenteric vein right here, and they both anastomose right here to become the hepatic portal vein, which is also joined by the right here, coming from the spleen and the stomach, is the gastrosplenic vein, which also anastomoses with the hepatic portal vein into the liver.
Okay.